All right, I got 9 o'clock, February 9th, 2026, in the Chickasaw County Boardroom. Supervisors call the meeting to convene. Roll call, all members are present, along with Board Secretary Sheila Shackleton. Is there a motion to approve today's agenda as published?
Second.
Motion by Travis, second by Scott, to approve the agenda. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, anybody opposed? Motion carried. Minutes from last Monday, February 2nd.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Scott, second by Travis, to approve the February 2nd board minutes. Any discussion on the minutes? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye, anybody opposed? Motion carried. We're gonna open up these bids quick. If Coney Common gets moved down, we'll move it down. This is under custodian Dave Gorman. Review bids for the courthouse electrical panels and award bid. They were due back by 4 o'clock on Friday, the 6th, and we do have 4 of them here. K&W Electric out of Cedar Falls. I guess Dave first to confirm, these 4 contractors were here to look at the project.
Yes.
K&W Electric, Hennings Electric, Stanton Electric, and Henninger Electric.
Yes.
That was part of the spec, just because this one's a little bit unique, of all those junction boxes up in the attic and stuff. So K&W have, it's 2 separate projects, but we'll add them together. Project number 1 is 9,100, and project number 2 is 14,500. So 23,600. Is K&W. Hennings Electric out of Ionia. Project number 1, 4,200, and project number 2, 9,200, which would be 13,400. Stanton Electric. Per spec, no tax. The total price is $7,993, so $7,993. And then Henninger Electric out of Cedar Falls. This quote bid, sorry, has all the details of what they're gonna do, just like our spec said. Total is $18,577.45. $18,577.45.
Shop local, folks, you can save yourself a lot of time and a lot of headaches.
Thanks, Judge. Yeah, I've been in contact with all four of them through text messages, whatever. They did have some additional comments that Dave couldn't answer. Yeah, I guess the lowest bid is Stanton Electric, $7,993. They need a motion to accept it and then award it, if that's what they wanna do.
I'll make a motion to approve the electrical panels in the courthouse to Stanton Electric.
Second.
Motion by Isaac, second by Steve. To award the courthouse electrical project for panels in the basement and in the machine room. Like the spec was to bid. In the amount of $7,993. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion is carried. Yeah, I'll let the other three know if they didn't get it. And I'll let Chuck know. So,
You were going to?
yeah, I'll reach out to him.
Okay.
9:05 is their public comment
I would make sure it's on it.
on file.
You got it? No,
All right, continuing with Dave then. Discuss and approve quote for kitchen counter at the Heritage Center. Anything you want to bring today?
I didn't bring any, I only have one quote on it right now, and, I was just wondering if the board wanted,
Yeah,
numerous.
so let's go into some of the details. When we had the water damage, the countertop wasn't damaged by the water.
No.
But during that construction, your custodian out there wished we would replace that countertop to serve the veterans better. Remember, the hot plates were built into the countertop where the overhead door was. Right now, there's a piece of whatever covering that.
Yeah, we've patched numerous holes in it and whatever over the years. It's still functional, but it does not look good, so.
And then there's a second sink on the east side of this horseshoe countertop.
Yes.
Don't use it. Does it leak? Does it?
No, we're just, if we do the countertop, we're gonna eliminate that sink, I think, cap it off, so,
Under $10,000, fair to say.
yes.
He does have one quote. Dave visited with me Thursday about this. You guys want a second quote on a countertop? He's just being transparent to us, and like I said, the one quote you do have, I'm not gonna tell the details, but it's under what, 4,000?
It's under 5.
Yeah, there you go. Fair enough. You guys wanted a second quote on a countertop? You guys wanna do the countertop at the Heritage Center in the old kitchen area?
And it's a deal out there where we're just kind of trying to update, the amount of things that we feel are usable at the moment out there. And we have the building in pretty good shape. I would say that's one of the last items that we were looking to replace that really needs to be, just on account of the looks of it. And it is used quite a bit with the veterans and other functions that go on out there, so.
And for cleanliness, I mean, it'd be a one piece. They're gonna put it together. There won't be any cutouts or inserts.
Company local?
Yes, the one that I have so far.
Correct.
So if you wish, I mean, I could bring the one I have up probably next week, or if you wish, I can get another one, or if you feel we don't need to do it, that's totally up to the board.
There's money in the budget. That was one budget that I said would give back about $10,000 of non-emergency wages.
Okay.
So, you guys have an opinion? You want the second one? You want him to go ahead and just do it?
I'm okay with them, just go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can just go ahead and do it.
Okay.
It's under the.
Okay.
The third thing on the agenda for you then, Dave, is the department update. Anything else? I know you're working on some quotes for some lawnmower.
Yes.
That'll be up next
I'm
week.
currently trying to gather up quotes from around the county here of people that I have found that sold lawn tractors. I know the amount of people selling those anymore is getting pretty minimal here, but, I'm waiting on one more quote, so I probably will have those ready next week.
Anything new on the air conditioning unit? Well,
No, and McGage plans, the unit is sitting out of his yard. I know when he said that when the weather breaks in the spring here, and I'm assuming maybe even March, his plan is to get in here and do that as soon as he can. So I would almost, if the weather stays the way it is right now, I would almost look for him to be here probably early to mid-March.
Work with the city if they need the street closed off and or secondary roads for
Right.
planking,
Right.
like requested in the bid.
The only thing I'm keeping track of is I don't want them up on the roof up here, until we get some decent weather, because stomping around on that roof, it's a rubber coated roof with the foam underneath, you could damage seams and all that kind of stuff, so.
We don't want frost up there either.
No.
For safety
No.
concern.
No. And then the only other board update I have is, a few weeks ago, when we had that bitter cold temperature, down at the Heritage Building, there was an air-powered vent that failed to close when it should. We didn't even know the vent was there. It was down on the south end. It let in a bunch of cold air and actually cracked a heating unit down there that, heats that end of the building there. It's not real critical. We could shut it off. We're still getting by. But it leaked a bunch of water out and whatever, and that coil, we believe, is shot. But in talking to Jake, I think insurance will cover that, because it's just kind of an act of nature, that the vent failed and the coil got cold air and cracked, so.
9 times out of 10, that probably would cause the boiler to shut down that morning.
It did.
Yeah.
Because that building that morning was down to about 45 degrees before we got back, because it was one of the nights wind chill was 30 below, so. Luckily, we got everything isolated and got the heat back on before any other damage happened, so. But I think that we found a serial number and stuff on that unit, so Mick is looking for a unit that's similar to that. Obviously, it's pretty old, so.
One quick question. We have an open part-time custodian. Any luck? Anybody apply?
I think there's been 2 applicants so far.
Okay.
We haven't done anything yet with the snow and whatever. I hadn't had a chance to really look at them and evaluate them, but I'll try to do that this week.
Okay. Anything else for Dave? If not, thank you.
Okay.
Got 9:12 here. We are scheduled for a public hearing on the authorization of a loan agreement and the insurance of notes to evidence the obligation of the county thereunder. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Scott, second by Isaac, to open the public hearing on the authorization of loan agreement and the insurance of notes to evidence the obligation of the county thereunder. Any discussion? If not, we'll roll call. Scott?
Aye.
Isaac?
Aye.
Steve?
Aye.
Travis? Jake? Aye. Motion is carried 5-0. Just the normal attorney language here that we have to do. The chairperson will announce that this was the time and place for the public hearing and a meeting on the matter of the authorization of the loan agreement and the insurance of note not to exceed $3 million, general obligation capital loan notes of Chickasaw County, state of Iowa, in order to provide funds to pay the cost of aiding in the planning, undertaking, and carrying out of urban renewal projects under the authority of Iowa Code Chapter 403 and the amendment number 1 and the amendment number 2 of the urban renewal plan, including the B22 paving project for Central County purposes, and that notice of the proposed action by the board to institute proceedings for authorization of the loan agreement and the insurance of the notes and the right to petition for the election had been published as provided by section 331402, 331441, subsection 2B14, code 331443, and 40312 of the Code of Iowa. At this time, I will ask the county auditor whether any petition has been filed in the auditor's office.
No.
And the auditor reported that no such petition has been filed, requesting that the question of insuring the note be submitted to the qualified electors of the county. I will again ask the auditor whether any written objections have been filed by any resident or property owner of the county to the insurance of the notes.
No.
The auditor advised that the chairperson of the board that no written objections have been filed. The chairperson then called for oral objections to the insurance of the notes. Any oral objections of this note? Hearing none were made. Upon the chairperson declare the time and receiving oral and written obligations to be closed. Any board members hear anything from the public? If not, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
Motion by Travis, second by Steve, to close the public hearing on the loan agreement and the insurance of notes to evidence the obligation of the county thereunder. Any discussion? If not, we'll roll call. Travis?
Aye.
Steve?
Aye.
Isaac?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Jake? Aye. Motion is carried. So we're in the same process as last time. Travis is still working on some loans, guarantees. We'll probably see something. So a little bit of a timeline I remember is, I believe on the 12th this week, we will get bids from contractors. This public hearing we just did lets us go out for a loan. We probably won't award the project until we have our loan in the bank. So in the next week or two, Travis and Jason will get more documents to Sheila for us to move forward with the loan proceedings. We do have a resolution today, though. Resolution, what's that word, Sheila? Instituting proceedings to take additional action. So just like I explained, we need to pass this resolution though, so we can get Travis on board and Jason on board. Pretty much approving the public hearing that there was no oral or written comments. Any questions with the resolution that you guys all got a copy of? Again, we probably won't take the whole $3 million. We have the authority to, but most likely we will have all the expense included this time for the bond attorney, the financial institution, and the amount of the project.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 02092612. Instituting proceedings to take additional action.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Travis, second by Steve, to move on resolution 2926-12. Any discussion? If not, roll call. Travis?
Aye.
Steve?
Aye.
Isaac?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Jake? Aye. Motion is carried.
I'm just giving you a second.
Yep.
That's what I said, so I guess.
Move on now. We good?
Yep, I'll just put this one.
All right. Next thing on the agenda is meet with Sheriff Ryan Shaw. Good morning, Ryan.
Morning.
A couple things on the agenda is to discuss the motor vehicle for the sheriff's department. So he did approach the auditor with a budget request. I think it is $56,000, I believe. So then I called Ryan to see if. How much was it?
It's,
54, I think is what it was.
So there's two options here. The board has to approve a motor vehicle. We know that. You just gave us a sheet with all the current vehicles listed. You did get a new one last March.
Let's see, yeah, the 19.9 was the last one put in service in June of 25.
I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, you probably have enough in your budget now, potentially.
Yeah, if I do, my projection on the give back is gonna be less.
Correct.
Just so everybody's fully aware of that.
Yep.
Long and short of it, based on what you guys see here, I mean, realistically, could use 2 to just keep things going, or we're gonna keep running these things to 180, 200,000 miles, but just putting it out there, that's why I'm giving you this. The next one up to be replaced would be the 1908 vehicle, 2019 Dodge Charger. Current mileage as of January 6th is 140,400. We go by just years, we don't go by overall mileage, we go by years, just to keep things consistent.
This morning he did give us a state bid of 50.
495, and then we usually bill it through Bernauer's Auto Center, they go get it. Mitch adds anywhere from $500 to $800 to it, just to go get it, so. Which is kind of nice. But he gets the same bid through Carl's, they have a state contract.
So 2 things for the board to decide, I guess. Either in the budget amendment, we have to wait for the public hearing and passing the appropriation. If this board wants to move with another purchase, we can do that using ending fund balance. Or we can say no. But he does need board permission for a motor vehicle.
What's the destination charge for car from there? It's $25.95.
No, that's just the destination charge from the manufacturer.
And then you get it here.
It probably wouldn't land until middle end of June. Then outfitting, I don't have anything budgeted next year for that kind of stuff either, so.
Where are we sitting on contracts with cities?
Fredericksburg approved theirs, New Hampton approved their dispatching one. Nashville's got a public meeting the end of the month, so nothing on that. Don't know what's gonna happen there. I am just giving their drive-through one back. I haven't reached out to smaller drive-through towns yet to see where they're at. I don't anticipate much difference from the drive-through towns.
I will always say that we have to keep the equipment updated, so we don't need to be not responding to a scene because of a motor vehicle issue. I'm more guiding that there's probably enough in his budget. If not, we can look at another 6 weeks, because I think the budget amendment will be March 2nd. But if we give the authority and then put it in the budget amendment and then see where he's at on March 2nd for a budget amendment to add more to it.
And honestly, based on what I'm being told by Jacob down there at Carl's, they're not gonna land until early mid-June, which would probably be invoiced till later on, so it might even hit next fiscal year.
Yeah, and that's the thing with all the stuff we have with, I hate to say the word tariffs and equipment and chips and.
They order these at a certain time, so all of these ones kind of come at the same time, so.
I'd be in favor of doing a budget minimum on this. And then seeing when you get closer to the year, if maybe you got enough in there.
Yeah, it just comes
Get your
back.
other equipment.
What is it?
1st of July.
So you give them authority to purchase a vehicle then?
I would.
So there's 2 different things. We have to approve the purchase, and then the other thing is we can't vote on the budget amendment until the public hearing. So,
Yeah, and if the budget amendment doesn't go, then it's gonna have to come out of his current budget, but
okay.
I don't
Just wanted to clarify.
foresee any, I foresee.
Unless, yes, something catastrophic happens, I'm comfortable with that, but again, the amount I'd return would be less.
Isaac, got anything to add or?
just in the one city, don't worry about that one, that contract falls through. Obviously, it's gonna probably reduce your staff if that falls through.
You know, I've been looking at these contracts, you know, it's a contract with the board of supervisors that you provide law enforcement service through the office of the sheriff. You guys are the ones that signed it, I just attest to it. So it's technically your contract. I just agree to provide said services in the contract. So that's something the board will have to decide on what they want to do. Calls for service aren't gonna change because they reduce the number of hours down there.
Scott, anything, or Travis?
I'd like to see it come out of the current budget personally, rather than the budget amendment, but, I mean, I know your budget's so hard to tell, but I mean.
It is.
When you say, well, obviously we take it out of your budget now, then you're gonna get less back. Well, I get that, but then that means you're pretty certain that you must have it in there.
I'm comfortable with it right now, the way things sit right now.
So,
I guess I'd rather see the way everything is right now, without one city. I think I'd rather see it come out of this year's budget.
If it gets down to it and I can't do it, then I can't do it. I'm not bound to this. If by some reason we decide to go to this year's budget and it comes middle of June, it's here and the funds just aren't there and there's no budget amendment left, they'll get rid of it. There's no saying that I'm tied 110% to this thing.
Yeah, fair enough. So I'm hearing, is there a motion then to approve a purchase of this state bid with Carl Chevrolet, right? Again, it needs a motion to approve a vehicle purchase under Iowa code.
I'll move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Steve, second by Isaac to approve the sale price of $54,490.20. Is that the correct one, Ryan?
Yeah, there might be some added fees if we go through hours, which is, that'd be the vehicle price. That I'd be comfortable with.
That's the vehicle price.
The additional isn't gonna be much.
All right, any other discussion?
Is the Charger the backup vehicle or?
But would it become the backup vehicle? I'd probably put it in the fleet or get rid of that other blue Charger, keep this one. That's kind of our transport
Somebody
vehicle.
using it right now?
Yes, all of what you have in front of you is all with what's being currently in service. The other blue Charger sitting over there, we use our transport vehicle. And it's got a radio in it, that's got 168,000 on it.
Any more discussion on the motion made by Steve, second by Isaac? So the motion allows the sheriff to purchase 2026 Tahoe. If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, anybody opposed? Motion is carried.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Acknowledge the resignation of Kaylee Thomas.
Correct, yeah, she was part-time with us for quite a while, then left to go have other career options and stayed on as part-time on call. She did submit her resignation yesterday or last week. Hadn't picked up really any shifts, just life changes. She doesn't want to be available anymore and just thought she submitted her resignation, so.
It looks like the notice was February 4th.
That sounds about right.
So the last Wednesday. Is there a motion to acknowledge your resignation?
From,
Motion by Travis, second by Scott to acknowledge the resignation of Kaylee Thomas, part-time dispatch jailer, effective February 4th, 2026. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion is carried. Any department update?
I just kind of updated you on the cover of our staff with contracts. National's got a public meeting to discuss with their citizens some options they're looking to pursue. So it's good to get out there, get those comments and have those discussions. just to be transparent, to see anything be claimed this week or next week from Guardian Fleet Safety. We were due for our body cam refresh, as we called it, when I was down at the Iowa State Sheriff's Deputy Association Conference, kind of got talking to GTAC and some other outfitters, and I had the new one sitting there, brand new one's not in service yet. They were able to give us a very, very good price, almost half off if we upgraded to the body cam 4s, which I thought was a good time to do that. I kind of thought about doing it in this year's budget, so I did plan somewhat accordingly in my budget to do that. I did get 2 bids through Guardian and one was through Sector. Guardian was able to get us a better price for our trade-ins, and a lot of us do that. So just kind of keeping up in technology, and body cams is an area where we need to keep up on that kind of stuff. So that's what that one is.
I appreciate that, Ryan, but going back to the procurement purchase policy, it's in the claims today. We saw them last weekend. I just wish you would have came a little bit sooner with that. Again, I believe the purchase policy, correct me if I'm wrong, anything over 10,000 is supposed to be approved by the board. And if you add them all up, it's like 11,000.
Yeah, just go over.
So, like I said, I'm a believer of purchase policies, any kind of policy, just you could have came a week or 2 weeks sooner to get the board blessing. And Dave, I guess, how would you act to get on this? A purchase was made over $10,000. I know he has the right to spend his money, I get that.
Yeah, it's
an
an internal
internal-
policy.
it is.
So I don't know what your sanction or what your remedy is. Legally, if push came to shove, if he has the money to spend it in his budget, he can spend it.
And I get
So
that.
it's your internal policy. I don't know how you police it, for lack of a better word. That's up to you guys.
No. Just a comment where we hold some people under the rug and some people over the rug. So,
Yeah. That's up to you guys. It's your policy.
before the claims are paid, is there a motion to approve those, I guess? You know, we've had this debate before. All we can do is submit it to the private auditor, and we do have an internal policy. It's not on the agenda, so I guess we'll look at it at claims. Anything else for department update?
No, any questions?
No, not for me. Anybody else? Thank you. Moving down then, acknowledge
Oh, yeah.
a letter from the Ohio Department of Health and Human Services. We cannot mention the name through confidential reasons. Is there a motion to eligible for property tax suspension?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Scott, second by Isaac to approve.
Thank you.
Acknowledge a letter from the Iowa Health and Human Services regarding Chickasaw County resident eligible for property tax suspension. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye, anybody opposed, motion carried. Review and adopt resolution 292611. This resolution ensures the retirement plan remains in compliance with the IRS qualifications requirements.
So, yeah,
Take it away.
so this is a resolution updating the one that we had November 24th, 2025, number 53. So what they did is they changed a couple of the terminology of the agreement, and they want us to sign off on it. Basically, what they did in this agreement, and I gave you guys a copy of it, I'll get mine out, is
This section at the bottom.
11 and M. So 11 has been changed just to define the meaning of the required minimum distribution. And M has been added because it has never been there before, and that's the deferral agreement. So a deferral agreement is allowed to become effective so long as it enters into before the compensation is currently available to the employee. And again, our company was just making sure they're complying with the new IRS laws with compensation. Deferred compensation, sorry.
Yeah, we just signed this about 2 months ago, and asking again to sign this one, this
So,
amendment.
so we need the resolution, you to adopt the resolution, plus I also need a signature. I
Correct.
forgot to put the signature on.
Is there a motion to approve 292611? Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Travis, second by Steve, to approve resolution 292611. Ensures the retirement plan remains in compliance with the IRS qualifications, and authorize board chair signature on the amendment resolution. Any discussion? If not, roll call. Travis?
Aye.
Steve?
Aye.
Isaac?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Jake, aye. Motion, resolution is adopted. It's just me, right?
On this, the
Oh.
resolution, everybody has signed.
Oh, gotcha, my bad.
Okay, so this one is for you. So whenever you're ready to sign it, you can put it there. There's 3 of them.
Discuss EBS refund funds.
So the Fidelity Bank and Trust, so we have closed down the Flex accounts. And one of the things that was on the Flex account was a debit card. Chickasaw County had to put $2,000 down so that there was always money on this debit card for when people were using it. And so they refunded the $2,000, and I just wanted you guys to know that we have $2,000 in the account, and I was gonna ask for permission to direct it to the partial self-funding balance.
For admin cost. This 2,000 was held in bank to administrate these flex funds, which you explained, and now there's a refund check from Fidelity to be put somewhere, and the best place is at is the IGHCP trust fund to pay the admin cost. Is there a motion to take that $2,000 and direct it to IGHCP trust fund?
No.
Motion by Isaac, second by Travis, to direct the auditor to submit the $2,000 for payment to IGHCP trust fund, health insurance. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, anybody opposed? Motion carried. Claims, payroll date of last Friday, February 6th. Is there a motion to approve the payroll claims?
So. Second.
Motion by Scott, second by Steve to approve payroll claims dated Friday, February 6th. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, anybody opposed? Motion carried. Claims this morning got changed. Sheila maybe can explain it, but the new number I have is $181,410.13.
So what had happened is, the wrong visa bill was submitted by data processing. And so when we found out Friday night, then we had to update everything this morning, so.
New amount, $181,410.13. This includes the claim of body cameras that we talked about prior to. I get a little frustrated. I think we all should, if we are the keepers of county funds. It just seems like the transparency is not quite there for all county departments. We have a policy in place, local policy. I brought this up many times to the private auditor. We'll see if it's in a report coming out soon. Again, we don't control the bottom line. We understand that. Either make this policy at $500,000 or whatever it is. Don't put a number in it if they don't need to come talk to us. Maybe put it back down to 2,000, but I know we changed it 4 or 5 years ago, but just, how do we put policy in place if we have everybody but a handful, not, whatever. You guys know my frustration about it.
Maybe we just need to go back down to that $2,000.
It's gonna get worse because nobody will come to us. But see, this is when people come and complain to us as we supervisors of spending money and this and that. It's just a sad day when we try to make policy and some departments don't want to follow it. Again, why do we have it? So. Anyway, if you guys want to change that policy, let me know, because I think it's as good as we wrote black ink, otherwise throw it in the trash can. I've said that before. Today's claims is $181,410.13. Is there a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Steve, second by Scott to approve claims in the amount of $181,410.13.
I agree with you, Jake, that they should let us know. I don't believe it's tough to ride again, but it's spent now, we have to approve it.
And I get that. I'm not gonna boycott a claim. What I'm boycotting is a policy.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
Well, I agree with you too. It's just, I don't know that there's any repercussions we can do. I mean, the moment in April when we approve the budget, they can spend it.
Correct, we had this conversation when we made the policy. When I got here a couple of years ago, we redid the policy, we changed it, and we retooled a whole bunch of things in that policy. And I think I sent a memo to you guys back then, I can send it to you again now. The language hasn't changed, the law hasn't changed. I walk in here tomorrow with a bill for $20,000 and send my budget, you must approve it. You shall approve it.
So then we should
Doesn't matter.
maybe not have so much in the budget.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but that's your recourse. Your recourse is the ultimate number that's given,
Yep.
right, each fiscal year. Once that money's given, your authority over what they can spend it on is very limited. Whatever money they come forward, they being the department heads, they being elected officials who we're referencing here, are answerable to voters. So, I mean, if I come in and ask for a $400,000 budget, you give it to me, and I'm spending $20,000 on a vehicle for my office, or software for my office, or whatever it might be that's outside of your control, I'm ultimately answerable as elected official to the voters every 4 years, just like you guys are.
Correct.
So, I mean, you can write whatever policy you want. We've had this discussion.
Yep.
But ultimately, once you give them the money outside of a very narrow area of spending, the vast majority of the money that the department heads and elected officials spend is not under your control anymore.
And that's what the private auditor said. This is the only way we can get this story out is live YouTube and letting people know next time they go to that box to understand we do our best
Yep.
to be transparent. But remember, they're elected also.
Well, yeah, I would agree with you. And I would say if you have concerns over departments spending, that needs to be brought up during their budget discussion. And like today, I mean, you need to flag those things for the public. Because most times the public is not gonna know what I'm probably spending money on in my office. Let's use myself as an example. They see my overall budget amount and that's all they see. It's a messaging and I would not say transparency, because there's no transparency to it. It's a messaging and information issue more than it is a policy and a legal issue.
Exactly. And this is the only way we get our message out. So. Motion and a second on the floor, any discussion more? If not, all in favor on the claims, say aye. Aye, anybody opposed, motion carried. Discuss budget amendment number 3.
Okay, should we do that there?
Yeah, if you got it, Sandy, I have it in an email form.
Oh, just a second, maybe, I think it's on the thing here. Let's see if I do.
Right there.
This is a budget, yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys should have got this in your email. And I put together, I think I got everything. I'll put that up there.
Again, I think we still have a week. I'll pose this question to this, Bob, number 2. If we make a motion next Tuesday, can I make the paper on the 19th and 20th?
That's yeah, it's President's Day, isn't it?
Yes, I was thinking that too.
That will make it look.
So we have another week yet to see if there's anything added or subtracted, but go ahead, Sheila, on what you put in there so far.
Okay, so again, we got the TIF, where, the expenditure, in case we can hit it this year, we gotta put it in there. We got the sheriff's vehicle in there. We got conservation, we got the 7,000 for new transmission. You guys received the quote for the heat pump. I put 11,000 in there. It was a little over 10,000,
Yeah,
just in case.
that was approved at Tuesday night of 10,200 for mid-gauge to put the heat pump in. That one has been lowered since last week.
Yeah. So, then the motor vehicle is 50,000 for conservation. Secondary roads, you guys know that we have that, horticulture and, rural services. Well, we can't give that to secondary roads anyway, so we're taking it out of the budget,
Just cleaning up the budget.
just so you guys don't have to look at it anymore afterwards. And then, let's see, general services. Dave, I put this in here because I don't know if I was guided or what, but we talked about it.
We
and
talked
I-
about it, we talked about it last week, the new lawnmower potential for the county grounds. He is working on quotes this week yet of, a new lawnmower for the 4 or 5 buildings that he takes care of.
Yeah,
I don't think it needs a budget amendment on this department. 51 was gonna give back approximately 150,000.
was it that much?
But some of that was GS.
Right.
It's not all GB,
Because of the,
insurances.
yeah,
Don't need to do it. This is a lawnmower that was, hard to get a bearing. It had to come out of Canada for the snow blower. He was out with the lawnmower for about 3 to 4 weeks back in December. This is the oldest one of the 2. Like I said, we can discuss it again next week when we see the quotes that Dave will present to us. But Sheila did put it in.
great, and so you guys can pull it out if you need to. EMS, we had 2 payments figured in for the cities for fiscal year 25-26. We're taking, only 1 payment, or no, we're taking a quarter of 1 payment. So I wanted to fix the revenues, so the private auditor wasn't say, well, why didn't you receive this money you budgeted, and have to explain that I wanted it more consistent. So I talked to Joe and he was fine with it. So that's what this next section is. It was just fixing the revenues from the 28E agreements with the cities. Then I have the revenue of the bond coming in, the 3 million. So that's what I have for budget amendment so far. Do you guys want me to take anything out, add anything?
So yeah, this week Sheila will work on the department management document for this.
Mhm.
Is there anything that you guys want to keep in? You want to have that public hearing discussion? You guys want to leave the sheriff's car in there? Totally up to you.
And this isn't the final say though. I mean, next
No.
week you could pull it out if you wanted to, but we just gotta be fast so we can get it to Bob.
Otherwise, if you guys are okay with this, she'll start working the department management documents. You guys think this is too soon yet? The number one reason why we're doing it in March is to get the 3 million authorized to spend for B-22 and to help Chad Humpo out to purchase a truck at their March 3rd County Conservation Board meeting
And get us repaired.
and get his repair done, because right now, most likely that department won't have enough funds because of that heat pump at $10,200. That was an emergency that nobody saw coming. Otherwise, we can do it in the middle of March or April 6th. But this is the current request for a budget amendment. I'd say 2 of them are emergency style, sooner than later. The other ones could wait until the middle of March. I'm not hoping to do the 4th budget amendment this year.
Probably not.
We'll wait another week. She'll get them in the dome. If we make a motion next Tuesday for publication of the notice. Fair enough? Can we put the date of March 2nd in there tentatively? Just so we have the documents ready for the paper,
So the March 2nd, public hearing,
tentatively,
9:10,
if
is
you want-
9:10 okay?
9/10.
Okay.
If you want to prepare those, we'll vote on it next Tuesday for publication. All right, that's that. Thanks, guys. Yeah, we'll go through. Committee assignments, is there any from last week or past?
Yeah, I had a, find it here. Northeast Iowa Workforce Development Board meeting. Down in there, went over the bylaws, which hadn't been done in a long time. And elected new chair and vice chair. Committees. They also said that they received word that they will, the federal government will have, they will get the same amount of money as they did last year from the federal government. Bunch of committees, reports, and about it.
That was the workforce?
Yep.
And what day was that on?
Thursday, February 5th.
Okay, thank you.
This week I got IGHCP down in Des Moines.
And
Well,
then
13th.
Denise will probably get county scheduled for renewal.
Yep.
Scott, anything?
Yeah, Thursday afternoon, I had Northeast Iowa Response Group meeting. Approved the treasurer's report, set the date for the next meeting, paid the invoices that we had, and then we had some discussion on the hazmat training / grant phase for the training. It was decided that there's been a change in how the grant is paid. We have to pay and get reimbursed now, and so Waterloo Fire has decided that they will foot the bill for all 10 counties, rather than having each county do it, and then, because all the money is back at Waterloo Fire anyway, so. Then we approved the budget for the 2027, and that was about it.
And which group was that?
There, it's Northeast Iowa Response Group.
Okay.
Isaac, have any? Steve?
No.
I didn't either. Discuss future agenda items. How do I present this? I guess Scott help me out. Last Friday, the EMS director approached us about an RFP for a new ambulance. Really wanted it on today's agenda. We kind of moved it to next Tuesday's agenda. We still are missing a cover sheet of the RFP. He will explain next Tuesday that we probably need to do something sooner than later, because it sounds like 18 months to 2 years out of a new truck, so. Waiting on a cover letter. I will probably submit, Sheila has the RFP submitted today. It's the normal RFP that they sent out 4 years ago with some additional changes. That's all I got for future agenda items. Is there anything else?
And the meeting's gonna be on Tuesday.
Tuesday, yep. 2 board FYIs, our meeting for the conference board is 5:30 Wednesday at the community service building. And then I need to know if you guys are gonna attend the Chickasaw County Farm Bureau meeting dated February 16th. They wanted RSVPs by the 11th. So let me know by Wednesday if we get just a May attend meeting agenda out. If there's more than
Oh, sure.
5 of us there, or sorry, more than 3 of us there, but. If anybody wants to go, let me know and we'll get you some papers. Otherwise, budget work session. Sheila worked on a request last week that was noted last Monday to move around and change. I think RSB, if you can pull that one up first.
Okay.
I think you guys were emailed this sheet, but she moved up. You can explain.
Okay, so on RSB, you guys had asked me to take the sheriff's and move it up to the general basic and general supplemental from the RSB. We also, I had a little bit too much in there for soil conservation, so we went down to 8,000. So our new expenditures are $2,587,860. And you guys all got the budget sheets, right? So it's, so if you look on the back of the budget sheet, it has the budget, the total of what it is now too.
Yep.
So anyways, then,
Off to the right of that sheet, she does.
I have the July 1st, 2025 balance for RSV, and we add our revenues. Then I subtract our expenditures to get a balance of $606,636. But then we add back in the payment that we didn't have to make for the EMS and $110,000 that we did not give secondary roads, and the sheriff said that they were gonna give $8,000 back, possibly.
Out of RSB.
Yeah, so that is gonna be a total for 2026, June 30th, of $799,640. Now, I stayed with the,
Sheila did stay with the 3.39806.
I did, didn't I?
You did, but then I came in and said,
Oh, yeah,
let's try a
you did.
3.15.
Yeah, that's why it's different. So
And you can go back to 3.39
Okay.
to make a fair picture of why that levy
I
rate's
thought
too
that was
high.
bad. Okay, so anyways, if we stick with the new rollback factor that we have, a 3.39806, then we will receive revenues in 26-27 of $2,637,555 and other revenues of 147. So we would have a total in there of $3,585,041. And if we subtract our new expenditures after we move some stuff, we will have a balance at the end of June 30th of 2027 of $997,181.
Almost $1 million. Go down a little bit, see what the ending fund balance would be. 38%.
Yeah.
Way too high. I don't care what anybody says. So that's why I put in 3.15. If you want to put that number back in just for discussion.
Okay, 3.15. So then that gives us revenues for 26-27 of $2,445,197.
New ending fund balance of 31%.
So we still have a very good fund balance.
I guess where do you guys wanna be at? I went down a little bit more, just, we'll put this number in, Sheila, 3.115. Now we're down to about a 30.
Yep, and that it gives us, revenues of $2,418,028.
Remind you, some of the, go back to the budget, most of it's fixed to the left, no, to the left.
Oh, you want the
RSP,
RS, okay.
yep. You know, most of those are fixed numbers. Libraries at the 3% growth. Intercog is fixed. Planning commission might get back a little bit. Hazmat will be all fixed. Secondary road will be a transfer. Transfer to EMS,
Yeah,
maybe. If we buy that new rig, I think we'll probably give that whole 70,000 away. And then 8,000 will be a request, that'll go away. So most likely that RSB budget request, there's not much coming back. Those are all really hard numbers.
We
except
will
for
actually
planning
use
commission.
169,831 of the fund balance if we went with that new rate.
Yeah, if you want that new rate, like Sheila said, 170,000 roughly will be coming from the ending fund balance to pay that down, or to use that money instead of levying property tax. I guess the bottom line is, you guys want a 25% ending fund balance? You want a 30? You want a 39? That's the number that we try to manage. If some bills get passed and we only can have a 10% ending fund balance, we have to start paying that down or spend more. So go back to our dome worksheet for what we have to do before March 5th. I just ran some numbers of the 3.115.
Oh, you want me to go to the dome?
You can.
Okay.
So if we put in that 3.115, we are actually decreasing tax asking. By like 2.76%.
Be at a 25%. That'd be way too low.
I don't wanna play devil's advocate, but you guys all know what's going on in Des Moines. If we keep it any lower than that, we can. And we get a 2% tax asking next year.
Yeah, then we're in trouble.
The 3.115, I think, reduces tax asking. Not a lot, but it does decrease it by 2.76%. Sheila will show these numbers here shortly.
Okay, if I ever get figured out what to do here.
I want to make sure my numbers are right as I understand this. The asking right currently for RSB for next year is 2.587860.
Yeah.
And if you kept your property tax rate at the rollback rate, the max rate, which is 3.39806, that would bring in 2.637555.
Right.
So if you kept your rate at the 3% surplus.
But we have a huge ending fund balance.
So what else can you spend that ending fund balance on besides floating the budget in future years? I'm just asking.
RSP is tough. It's pretty much what we all got in there now. Rural-related services. Can't give any more to secondary roads unless they ask for a one-time we pay bills.
I guess I'm asking that question because, you know, I'm going with this, you kind of alluded to it 2 minutes ago.
I know.
You're balancing your budget now with that number. If you lower that number, what happens next year if you can't raise that number back up and you can no longer balance your budget?
I understand that. But
You're competing interests here. I get it. I'm just asking, what else can is there any one-time expenditures you can spend that balance down on a capital project of some sort without changing
I would
the
have
balance
to do
budget?
some, yeah, good question. I'd have to do more
That's what
research on the
I'm
RSP, but I think it's mainly secondary roads and any rural-related services. So yeah, you put that 3.11 in there, or 3.39?
Okay, we have to figure out.
Oh, yeah, don't worry about that. Okay. Do you guys understand what we have in front of us on RSP? GS and GB is even, I think, a little bit better if you guys are done with RSP.
Well,
But we need to get a levy rate so we can direct the auditor by March 5th of what
I
levy
guess we
rate.
got time, but I
We
was
do have
just-
time.
yeah.
Well, I'm fine with 31%, just. Secondary road needs, if we never know what we're gonna have. I mean, we could have a spring flood or we could still have a bunch of winter yet. And if we have a FEMA situation, we've gotta pay the bills till we get reimbursed anyway, so.
A few years ago, we were down, 17%
We
or
were.
something, and that's way too tight.
But that's when we were budgeting 4-quarter payments.
So I got it.
I think
I got
we
a
caught
little
up.
breathing room like that.
So what if we put in 3.2 and see what that leaves for an ending fund balance for RSP?
32.
32.5%. Still gonna have 843,000 in the bank next June.
Mhm.
June
But if nothing happens, yeah.
June of 27, if nothing happens. We pay all those claims on the left. We will still have 843,000 in RSP ending fund balance or a 32.5% ending fund balance.
That's at 320.
3.2.
Yep, right here. You see that?
Remember, evaluations went up a lot this year, almost 9% total. Rural went up 8.52. That's why we are seeing more dollars coming in with a lower levy rate. So people are still gonna see tax increases potentially, even with a lower levy rate because their evaluations.
Yeah, and then they look at the levy rate, they're gonna look at their total tax bill.
So I guess think about it next week or the week after.
Yeah, I guess the two things, we can adjust the levy rate as much as we want, but if the ending fund balance is where I've been so accustomed to of no more than 25%. You guys can throw in the state law potential law changes. Remember though, if we use ending fund balance now, we're restricted to the tax asking next year. So go back to your top by the 3.2, move it over to the left, so
Okay,
go to the right. Oh, sorry, to the right.
that's my right.
So we're bringing in 2.48 million for property tax. So then you take that number, easy math, times 2%, that'll be next year's tax asking. So just for math here, so you take 2.48,
Yeah, and I take it times
2%,
1.02. Oops.
you're gonna bring in about
Right here, 2.5.
$50,000. If they get their stuff together in Des Moines with 2% growth. Give or take new construction, I'm just talking current values. They don't care about values, they care about tax asking. So if that's the one we certify in April, next year we can only climb that, if the law passes, $49,000. Because of evaluation growth, secondary roads climbed $200,000 this year. Again, next year it won't matter what evaluations do, is what I understand. They care about tax asking.
And that number includes, by my math, 8.5% increase for secondary roads.
Yes,
Because you're giving, as of now,
Evaluation.
100% of the max number.
yes, 3.37,
Right. Which is
3.0037.
8.5% increase to the budget.
Correct. So that's gonna help them out.
Yeah, I'm not, that's not a critical comment, that's just a comment. I'm not, no, I'm not trying to argue, I'm just saying, just pointing out to the public that's watching, that's how we got to that number.
Correct.
So it is an 8.5% increase for secondary roads.
Out of property taxes.
Correct. Yep.
Yep,
For that department.
yes. So, just keep in mind, we can be at 3.39. Put that number back in there, if you could, just to see where that ending,
That would be your 2.6.
Right.
That's your 38%, that's way too high.
I'm just gonna show the 2% that.
Oh,
Gotcha.
you want me to put this number where?
Put back in the current max,
Okay,
3.39, right there where that 3.2 is,
okay. Three.
just for
Oops.
looking at it. Oh, I know.
6.
So now we can climb RSB only, what's the difference?
53.
53,000.
53,000. But the ending fund balance is almost $1 million or 39%. And remember what's gonna pass this board, so I say for talks, I throw back the 3.2. Can it go lower? It could. But 3.2 is,
Want me to put it back in?
you guys wanna put it back in just for discussion next week? I think we have to get Sheila some numbers by the 23rd of February. So we can get it off to the printing press.
How much is 3.2?
2.484,
Yeah,
2,484,010.
So instead of 3.2s, we can always go down.
We can, and we can set that as the max levy. Can't go higher after publication of the first hearing. But I think we can show that this is still a 32% ending fund balance.
stop by the office before you leave it on the numbers and the picture.
Any more questions on RSB levy rate? Or the projection of ending fund balance of 32.5? A 3.11 is close to a 30%, just so you guys all have that number in mind. If not, we'll move to GBGS then.
Okay, at the risk of bearing the lead that I was told last week. So if we leave everything as the factors that were last year, for fiscal year 25-26, the revenues that were brought in, the revenues that would be brought in is $7,985,000. So our expenditures that we have listed, with bringing bringing all of sheriff's expenditures to general basic, general supplemental, is $8,038,000. So we're not balanced, but we are so close. We have a $53,549 difference.
But we are a balanced budget if you use ending fund balance.
Oh, yeah, everything's, we have a fund ending, but he was.
You have to spend like the feds can. Yes, I get that.
Dave was
No one
in here
can.
last week and said I was burying the lead by not telling if we were at balance.
Right.
And so I wanted to put that out there first.
Well, I think that's the broader discussion we're having, and that's what the public needs to know. Again, we're talking about information and messaging. Your tax revenue is close to enough to cover your expenses. What are you gonna do with your anticipated ending fund balance and your extra money that you've built up over the years?
Exactly.
Correct. That's both discussions are perfect.
And so one of the things that they want to do with their ending fund balance was to have me transfer $1,500,000 to capital projects for, they're discussing what type of project to do.
We'll put that on line down there.
It's way at the bottom here.
Yep.
And that's part of the expenditure for, when I was saying a balanced budget there.
Correct.
Wait, no, do I
Yeah,
have it in there?
784.
No, I don't have it in this one. Let's see here. Yeah, because this one has GD and GS together. So I don't have it with that because that was our own money being
Correct.
transferred. Okay, so anyways, right now, keeping everything the same as last year with the factors, our ending fund balance would be at June 30th, 2027, we would have 1,936,000. Now, everybody was really generous in what they said they were gonna give back in their budgets and stuff like that, and I am very uncomfortable, but I have to see it, and we've always talked about, that I wanna see it, touch it before I claim it, but I know that there's this, that we're gonna get back more than what we have been measuring the years prior. Now, it looked like we were like over $1 million getting back between all the different balances according, and the departments were real good about making sure I had numbers and even revenue numbers, because it does play a big part on whether you guys decide on what type of factor for GS on what we're gonna put back in GB and GS. So again, if we stay with, well, we will with GB, stay as we are, and right now, we have, and I'm not counting the transfer, but with the expenditures of GS, general supplemental, and everything staying the same, we should have percentage of ending fund balance of 26%. And what they take the 26% by the total expenditures. The only expenditure I left out was a transfer, because to me, it's not totally an expenditure, you're just moving your money. So, to GS, and that was 1.85 was the factor. So, with that in mind, on June 30th, 2027, with the expenditures that we have, we should have $762,359 in GS at the end of June 30th, 2027. This scares me, and the reason it scares me is because Heartland likes their money within the first 3 months before I get taxes. I have to pay benefits, FICAs, and all that for 3 months before I get taxes. Now, in the past, what they have done is they have taken money from GB and transferred it over. Now, but this is leaving it at a 1.85. So we can transfer, it's at 762. I think $1 million, is not inappropriate when you're looking at $550,000 with the bills for Heartland the first 3 months, and you're looking at about $400,000 payroll and stuff like that for 3 months. So I guess
So go back to the right where you have your levy rates.
I don't have these levy
Oh, you
rates
don't
in
have
there.
them there.
No. We have to play with them on the thing.
Oh, don't.
Yeah. So everything here is in dome.
Yep.
And that's, so, but I was asked to figure, and I did, let's see. If we went down on general supplemental. So I am gonna take general supplemental down and to 1.39256 was a number I was asked.
Yep, I just asked it to see where that levy rate would be. So it's 1.5 million to GS.
Okay, so I'll save that. And then you can see where it would take us for ending fund balance as of June 30th, 2027. I'm just gonna make sure my rates in there before I move it. Yeah, it's there. Okay. And remember, at a 3. Just a second. Oh, we already had that in there.
I thought, yeah,
Did you?
I didn't think you changed it, but
Oh, I thought I did. Okay. So I guess you were looking at that on my spreadsheet already.
a 1.39 levy rate.
Yeah. Because it's $762,359.
What was that levy rate?
That was a,
1.39.
yeah, it kind of branches out there.
I think what we're seeing, guys, is the evaluation went up so high that a levy rate brings in so much more money. We saw that in RSB, we see that in GB. You know, GB is already gonna bring in 6% higher than last year, just in tax asking. You can readjust that with general supplemental, because it is a supplemental levy rate. And I know we can transfer from GB to pay GS claims, or I know I brought this up in the past, why don't some of those GS claims go back to GB?
Well, and I kind of said that I didn't like the idea of moving budgeted numbers from back and forth because it kind of screws with the
The
budgeting process.
previous,
Because then you're in a different account and
and
you
I,
don't get to look at how everything was spent. So to me, a transfer is more appropriate.
so anyway, the ending fund balance in June of 27 is still gonna be at, if you add them together, $2.6 million.
Right here. Which, if you add the expenditures together, you're at a 34%.
Yeah, so do we wanna be at a 34% ending fund balance, even with that lower GS rate? Again, knowing what they potentially can do in Des Moines, what levy rate do you want to put in for GS? The 762 ending fund balance is a 1.39. You can say that's 85 minus 39. So you're lowering the levy rate by 46 cents per thousand.
And we don't have to decide today,
No.
but you need to think about it. And if you need me to run you any numbers or anything, let me know.
And we still put away 1.5 million of ending fund balance
Yeah,
for some capital projects. Do we want to put more in there? But hopefully those projects get done then.
so is there
I
any,
can see if they fall through that and more, the 2% growth, it's gonna do the opposite thing for this year. Counties are gonna levy more than they need just to have the money set in there.
We have somebody that is doing that.
Don't look at me.
I'm not looking
I
at
know
you.
what you're talking about, don't look at me.
So I guess when is the taxpayers paying the bill? And some of them I've been talking to is like, what do they get for that check they sent, right? What's their return of value to live in Chickasaw County? And they see these ending fund balances of 34% with that lower levy rate of 1.39, they're gonna ask. You guys go to the Farm Bureau meeting, they will ask, why are you hanging on to 34% in 17 months? Why are you not lowering levy rates? Just because there's some law change coming about? That's not a good answer in my opinion.
No, it's not.
So do you want that 34 down to 30 like we did with RSB? I don't know, guys. All we do know is by March 5th, we have to get to the auditor a max levy. GS and RSB. I've been through these numbers. I've been this weekend up here for a little bit, so this is where Sheila has. I appreciate the hard work and the numbers in there. We haven't even talked about any budgets yet, and I don't think, maybe we don't need to, and at some point, I think next week, we gotta figure out wages on certain people. If you guys, I know there were some comments made during the presentations, but once these budgets are certified, they can spend it all in their budget. We have some control over clerks, but example, we gotta decide the Veterans Affairs officer. So these are all what's been presented. I guess
so
we can move with levy rates.
do you want me to put the, the other one, the 185 in here so they can see how much
You
bigger
can
it
put it
was?
in, yeah, we
Okay,
can see how much bigger it is.
since I already have the other one in there, okay.
I think the ending fund balance could probably up to 40%.
Let me see here, I need to.
Because we are facing a lot larger evaluation. You guys know, understand levy rates are just a multiplication factor on the per thousand. So when she goes back up to the 185 here, it's gonna bring in $400,000 more money. Because you guys saw that number increase to 1.9.
Just gotta say that, yeah.
Yes, we'll help out the
I thought we
GS.
took it back, yes. Okay, so then it goes. Then I have $1,255,095.
So now put that number
And
back
then-
in your spreadsheet.
If I can get it. If I can copy
It's
it.
about 400,000 more.
Okay, let's move this straight. No, what was the number?
1,255,255.
Okay. 1,255,095.
40% ending fund balance. And that's what by 45 cents. So 45 cents levy rate on GS will affect the ending fund balance by an additional approximately $400,000. I will stay up here and we don't need it.
I didn't see how much it was, 30.
Well,
If we are able to transfer from GB to pay GS the first 2 months, a lot of our revenue comes into GB though. Revenues like interest, law enforcement contracts, Medicare, Medicaid, Medicare, they all get dropped into GB. A lot of those expenses come out of GS though. That's where they're budgeted out of.
and the 1,500,000 is a transfer. I don't have to transfer that right away in July 1st. I can wait to see how all the tax money comes in or see how my bills are in GS and I could transfer GS.
Yeah, unless we have a window project going. Dave is looking out for some estimates right now, so we might know within 6 weeks of the estimate, and then we go out for an RFP. So we're working on it. I guess, where do you guys want the ending fund balance? You want a 40%? No. I hope you guys would all agree with that. So that's why I said 1.39. But anything else that you need, visit with Sheila. She has all the spreadsheets. We just need to get this done in the next 2 weeks so we can get that max levy notice to her. Do you guys want to see a department? Do you want to have a department head meeting? Unless, I don't see cutting much of anything right now. Unless you guys have different opinions. With the help of the departments and Sheila and myself, we got a very good and she said it, she addressed it already. She's uncomfortable of the give back any fund balances, but I think that's where.
And that's at the lower level.
Exactly.
But you said we could transfer and we do,
Yep. Did you decrease for unemployment?
I did.
Just
It
wanted to
went
make sure.
to 10,000 right here.
Perfect.
Yeah. And what else? I think I did
I
everything.
think that was it.
This was, I had
We
to
put the new
decrease
number in
this.
for EMA.
Yep, that's right here.
Yep. Yeah, I don't see, like I said,
Oh, and I was gonna show you guys too on the spreadsheet that I gave you guys. I took the 100,000 out of conservation and put it on a second
The grant.
line, only so you can see out of his budget if he followed, because with the 2%
he
growth,
was up about 3%.
he was up like 4%,
Without
3%.
the 100,000.
Yeah, because in order for him to get 100,000, he's gotta spend it to get the revenue, so it increased his percentage. So I took it out so you could see what the actual percentage is without the 100,000.
The only thing that we have not worked on, and maybe we need to have more talks with Chad, is this county betterment fund, if we are gonna look at a cold storage building. Has nothing to do with levy rates. We were gonna use some county betterment funds to fund that cold storage project.
That was, you got your full cash.
I pulled cash,
I'm just gonna do it somewhere wrong, cause you figure about 80, 90 more.
that goes by,
I just give you one.
yeah.
25.
County betterment is 233 minus
70,000.
the dock. Oh yeah, minus the
Yeah.
7,000, but current year minus the fishing dock at Howard Woods.
Let's see if I have it.
Yeah, I don't know if you have county betterment up there.
I have this, I don't know if I have it. Let's see, loss. So 625 if we spend this, get this, and then we add back, let's see. No, I don't have it.
You don't have it updated yet.
No.
Anything else with what you saw this morning or what you need for next week, Tuesday, to get a little bit closer to our max levy? Any department you want to talk to? Like I said, I don't think we're there this year.
I think they did a pretty good job for the most part on the budgets this year.
I did ask Joel Friday when he came up to talk to me and Scott, does he need a budget amendment in the current year budget for a down payment? And what, he said there was 5,000. If we went with this one vendor, not gonna release it, required a down payment once you sign the contract. He was gonna eat it or use his current budget to pay for that down payment.
Yeah, cause he has, do I have him in here? No, I don't have him in here. This is just.
So,
This is-
anyway, yep, just trying to be all years, everything I know is I'm telling you, so. I don't think it'll come in next fiscal year, so it'd be like in July of 27. So we will discuss that RFP next Tuesday. Otherwise, you know, this is what the people want to see too, is the tax asking. So I did do with those lower levy rates that we talked about, the property tax, not gas and electric, but this sheet here that you guys have, a total tax asking with Pioneer Cemetery, with debt. I come up with the levy rates a little bit lower that we talked about. Total tax asking was $7,880,000. Last year we asked for $8,047,000. So that's a decrease of about a 2% tax asking decrease. Which I think the people of Chickasaw County would be happy to see. So we're getting some projects done. We are also lowering tax asking by a little bit over 2%. Remember the ending fund balances. That's one thing. Either they're gonna make us force it, or we have to do other projects like the attorney asked. What can we do with that excess money if it's not projects, or do we put more rock on with another line item out of RSB, a direct bill from contract rock? That can be done. That's what we did with the flood.
Right.
All those things to keep in mind. So, at the end of the day, we have to get a budget approved. If there's nothing else, talked about the conference board meeting this Wednesday, and then let me know, or Sheila know if you guys are gonna attend the farm ground meeting. We'll get an agenda out though, that we might attend. Yes, two more things. We got a letter today from RC&D, which was the numbers you put in there.
Yep, well, but I still didn't get the WAPC. I got the turkey and the RC.
RC&D.
And he had sent us a letter for 6,000 dollars.
It came in the mail. One more question, Travis or anybody, how is the Frederica locker coming? Any update?
last I heard was he had to start spending money out of the grant that he received.
Okay.
So, I'm not sure what he's spending, whatever, but
I need to confirm this, but somebody told me that they're breaking ground this spring.
that's what I heard also.
So we have that money in there yet for those jobs that we approved?
Should we put it in for next budget, in case we,
I'm guessing.
yeah, next budget, okay.
That comes from county economic development,
Which number is that?
34. Anything else for the budget work session? Dave, you got anything?
Still short.
Budget? No, I'm dealing with HR issues still. I met with conservation last Tuesday and got them squared away, I think. I'm meeting with public health on Friday morning, and then EMA is back up again a week from Wednesday. And I think we'll have to talk about the VA, what we're gonna do with that. That's more in your court than my court. Sorry, more in your area than my area, should use the word court.
Yeah, we need to look at the handbook too and see if we are following the scheduled hours or the core hours for those Thomas board that adopt our handbook. You know, so.
But we continue to work on cleaning some of those things up.
Yep, I appreciate it. Oh, MOU, I sent that MOU off to Mike and Jeff, the other attorney down there. They were gonna have their union rep sign off before we sign off, so. That's a work in progress for that, lead dispatcher civil clerk. Otherwise, is there a motion to adjourn?
Oh,
Second.
Motion by Travis, second by Scott to adjourn at 10:36. All in favor, say aye. Aye, any opposed? Motion carried.